Today on Ag Etc. I talk with Adam Lukert, Fair Board member and member for the new building committee, over the Wabaunsee County Livestock Show that recently took place. Learn what precautions they took to put on this show and their plans to build a brand new fair livestock facility. Then I visit with our young leader in ag this week, Noah Ochsner. Next, I talk with Tom Stiles over harmful algae blooms. And Tom tells you the precautions you, your pets, and livestock need to take around this harmful organism. Finally, I'm back with our segment, Tell Me Something Good. Learn how Country Crock has partnered on a 3-year program to support farmers to plant cover crops to improve soil health on fields. Then on a national level, learn how country music singer Brad Paisley has helped out a farming family in the kindest way possible. It's all coming up on Ag Etc. Stay tuned.
Highways 40, 83, and I-70 come together right here in Oakley. Roads that lead to businesses, to magnificent rock formations, to scenic vistas, to places where legends were made. Roads that lead us home. Discover Oakley, the gateway to western Kansas.
I'm Bob Swartz, and I've devoted the last 43 years to helping Kansans reach their retirement goals and to protect the family farm. At Bob Swartz Financial, we believe everyone should be able to live the retirement they've always dreamed of. Our team of professionals can help you create an efficient strategy using a variety of investment vehicles to help you address your financial needs and your concerns. Bob Swartz Financial values commitment and transparency.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to Ag AM Kansas. I'm Britton Rucker. The Wabaunsee County Livestock Show took place June 5th through 6th and was one of the first, if not the first, livestock shows since the COVID outbreak. Speaking more on this, I have with me now Fair Board member and new building committee, Adam Lukert.
Thanks for having me on.
Adam, give us an overview of the Wabaunsee County Livestock Show that you guys put on.
Sure. So in April, the Wabaunsee County Fair Association picked up the show and really started to look at the show and think about how can we make this show happen in light of COVID. There was a lot of things that were proving not to be happening during COVID. A lot of uncertainty about what the future was going to be for youth events, whether that be baseball or showing livestock. And we thought, well, if there's any way we can make this happen, we're definitely gonna do it. So ultimately, our committee actually composed a letter that went to the governor's office, kind of making the point that these outside events can happen, and shouldn't be included in the definitions and the ad astra plans of a fair, because they're different types of events. They're more concentrated. They're outside. They allow for brief interactions of people and things like that. Unbeknownst to us, Kansas State Research and Extension had actually already been working on the exact same plan, and it really helped us to get things started again and get shows going again this summer. And now there's 3 or 4 every weekend right now, even as we head into July. So that really is fantastic.
Yeah. So what precautions did you guys take going into that?
Right. So we were immediately very, very upfront with our health department. Got a hold of him immediately, and he assured us that if we could come up with a good plan that kind of fit into the ad astra plan and the KDA guidance for youth livestock shows, we could proceed. So we did a lot of things that helped for both the youth and the spectators and our guests coming to town. For starters, for the youth, we had the kids show off the trailers primarily. So as they bring their livestock to the show, we encourage them to, stay at their trailers as much as possible, show their animals off their trailers, not stall them in the barns. We did use the barns as it ended up being a very hot day for brief interactions, wash pens and staging classes and things like that. But for the most part, the kids were spread out. We were in phase 3 at that point, which allowed 45 people in a confined area. And of course, these were outside events, so we were not in a confined area anyway. We made sure every barn had proper ventilation. We had great big fans going everywhere, blowing through there, which really decreases the chances of having COVID. And then as we looked at the stands and the spectators, that was the other place that we were really concerned about. Every other row, the bleachers was blocked off. We made regular every half-hour announcements to the crowd to remind them to sit by family group. If they did not have a youth in the ring, to please go back to their trailers. And then we streamed the show on Facebook Live. Wyatt Minahan is got a business out of Onega there that came down and streamed on Facebook Live and took pictures from us. At one point we had 7,000 views on Facebook of the show going on, which was fantastic. Many thanks to him for helping us out there, because he donated his time and his equipment and whatnot. It really was great. We had Wi-Fi installed in both our exhibit building and in our outside arena. I'm actually here at the arena right now. Sorry for the glare there, but we had people in Texas watching the show. Grandma and Grandpa down, a long ways away. So we tried to discourage Grandma and Grandpa from coming, discourage those that are at risk, to still allow the event to go on.
When we come back, we'll have more with Adam after this short break here on Ag Etc.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source, together we grow.
Welcome to the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in my hometown of Oakley, Kansas. We're the front door of Western Kansas, located on 3 main highways, I-70, US 83, and US 40. And all those roads lead to history, beautiful scenery, and adventure, no matter which direction you go. We now have an IHOP. That brand that you've trusted up and down the road in all your travels is staffed with local folks, real people just like you and me, and we're waiting on you to join us. So for fun, adventure, fuel up, fuel your body, and let's have some fun.
No one plans to get sick or injured. But when life happens, it's important you and your family are protected. Kansas Farm Bureau health plans are there to provide continued health care coverage to meet your needs. Choose from a broad range of individual and family plans. And if you're over 65, we have options for you too. Learn more at kfbhealthplans.com or contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Welcome back to Ag Etc. We're back with Adam Lukert speaking over the Wabaunsee County Fair.
And despite all these precautions and regulations you had to take, you've had quite a phenomenal turnout.
Yeah, absolutely. Ultimately, the show hosted 232 kids from 38 counties, exhibiting 656 animals between the 2 days. And so that show was ultimately more than twice as big as any show we'd ever hosted. And I'm very proud to say it's been 15 days now since the show, and we've had no reports of any spread whatsoever, and can now be declared past our COVID time. So we should be good.
Yeah, and you're in the process of fundraising for a new fair facility. What have you done so far on that end?
Sure. So, really starting last year already, the Wabaunsee County Fair Association took a hard stance at improving the fairgrounds and bringing things kind of up to a modern speed or modern facility, if you will. We started with actually our inside exhibit building renovation. We did the bathrooms last year, and the walls and the ceilings, and updated the electrical and LED lightings in that building since last fair. Our south exhibit building now has new concrete and a new ceiling, which will actually be very nice for food and places to sit outside at fair this year, because lo and behold, that's going to be a very important part of this county fair. And we are now in the process. We kind of use that momentum, and we're rolling forward into the livestock barns. Late last fall, we had a private donation, a donor that noticed that things were happening at the fairgrounds and wanted to keep things moving, and actually pledged $50,000 to renovate the livestock buildings. And so we're starting with a new arena, new beef barn, new hog barn, replacing the roof on a couple buildings. There's really a lot of things that we're doing in phases to progress forward here. We now have $170,000 gathered up towards that project, and going to roll that forward into fair.
Yeah. And Adam, I definitely want to give you a plug here. If people watching want to donate, where would you send them to?
Sure. So really, we've definitely got a Facebook page, Wabaunsee County Fair Association. You can get in contact with us there. My personal phone number, we're going to be provided on a flyer that will come to you. But biggest thing is we invite you to the county fair and seek us out. So July 24th is going to be a big event for us. We're having a ranch rodeo that evening at 7:00, as well as one of our main fundraising points for the new arena. So in our new arena, which will be nearly double the size of our current arena, is going to be our new auction block, announcer stand, and its combination picture backdrop. We're calling it Brands of the Flint Hills is what we're calling it. And we're going to have a branding party at the Ranch Rodeo on that night. So we're taking donations. Bring your cattle brand, put it on the new announcer stand. It's going to be 16 foot long, 8 foot tall. And we've actually got over 50 brands gathered up so far, and have space for over 100.
When is your county fair dates?
Right. So the fair starts July 24th and runs to the 28th. The Ranch Rodeo and Brand Party is Friday night. Parade Saturday night. Beef show Sunday night. Sheep and goat shows Monday morning. Hog show Monday night. Livestock sale is where we wrap up. Youth event on Tuesday night. So July 24th, 28th in Alma, and we'd sure like to see everybody there.
Absolutely. Well, Adam, thank you so much for being on the program.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm Britton Rucker, and this has been Ag AM in Kansas.
Country Crock Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Country Crock Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we're glad to answer it and work with you.
Okay, looks like it's time for our tour. Welcome to the Fort Wallace Museum. Here at the museum, you're going to find some really interesting stuff like our replica stagecoach from the Butterfield Overland Dispatch. We've got facades from the fort buildings. We've got an 1870s flag. There's a plesiosaur that was discovered locally. We've got the Ray pump organ collection. We're a little bitty place with a great big story, and we'd love to have you.
This segment brought to you by Farm Credit Associations of Kansas, lending support to rural America, and by American Ag Service, your DuPont Pioneer dealer.
Welcome back to Ag AM in Kansas. I'm Britton Rucker. We're back with our Young Leaders in Ag segment, and with me now I have this week's featured Young Leader in Ag, Noah Ochsner. Welcome, Noah.
Hi, thanks for having me, Britton.
Noah, give us a little insight to your ag background.
So I grew up in Tribune, Kansas, in Greeley County, which happens to be the least populated county in the state of Kansas. But I graduated from Greeley County High School in 2018. Growing up in Greeley County, naturally, you grew up a lot around agriculture. We're home to a lot of production agriculture facets. My family was involved in agriculture. I had the chance to work on a farm in Greeley County throughout high school, and that's kind of what brought me into agriculture, was being able to work on another person's farm in that county and really learning about what goes into agriculture. And that's kind of what led me to choose to study agriculture at K-State. Being able to stay in Kansas and receive a world-renowned education right here at home, and then being able to put that to use in Kansas is really something that I like. And also K-State's idea of global agriculture is really important to me. You know, not only understanding what's going on here in Kansas, but understanding what's happening around the country and the world, which is something that was really important to me, being able to take that knowledge and put it to use in my future career. And also just being able to call Manhattan home for a few years has been really fun. I know that there's always a lot that goes on, but truly Manhattan's a special place, and it's always just great to be able to live here.
Absolutely. And Noah, you've had some pretty extraordinary internship opportunities. Go into that.
Yeah, I've had some great opportunities. I think one thing that also K-State is really great about is you can have internship opportunities right here in Manhattan, especially if you're studying agriculture. For 2 years now, I've been interning with Kansas Farm Bureau, where I'm at today, here in Manhattan. We're at our state headquarters. I'm an intern in the Communications and Marketing Division. I host a radio program called Farm Weekend, and then our podcast called Inside Ag that I help create for the organization. And that's been an amazing opportunity. Farm Bureau is the state's largest advocacy organization, and being able to have connections in 105 counties is something, it's a great takeaway with great people that are amazing to work with. And then also I've been able to intern with KSNT News on the other side of media, out of Topeka, Kansas, and really being able to work with them has been great to learn what the news media side of communications looks like. And then last year and into this year, I was hired on as a multimedia journalist, specifically covering Manhattan. So being able to cover breaking news and telling the story of Manhattan has been something that's really cool. Being able to tell stories in the community that I live in and cover things that are going on here has been something interesting to learn with, and not really sure where it was going to lead, but I've had some incredible opportunities there. We're owned by Nexstar Media Group, so being able to have opportunities to connect with other people in the Nexstar system around the country while having a background in agriculture has also really helped me, because I'm also able to understand when we're reporting on something what the consumers need to understand about an issue. Being able to take that background of saying, here's what people in the agriculture industry care about and what people and normal consumers in Kansas care about, and here's how we make them care about it, is something that I've been able to take away from that experience. So in the future, I really see myself either staying in communications or higher education, and trying to just help consumers understand what's going on in agriculture to the best of my ability. And really, I think that all comes back to my upbringing in rural America, is just being able to understand the issues that affect them and being able to create a voice for that and help the rest of the public understand that. So I definitely see myself doing something like that in the future.
Yeah. And last question, Noah, what advice would you give someone wanting to be in your position and potentially becoming a young leader in ag?
Definitely just take every opportunity you can. I mean, I think we put a lot of pressure on I was just talking to someone about this morning. I think we put a lot of pressure on high school students to know what they're going to do in the future, and you definitely don't have to. I mean, when I was graduating high school, I thought I was going to study, I thought I was going to be pre-med, and I'm not. I study agriculture communications at K-State, which is something completely different. So I think really just going with the flow and doing what you really like and finding what you like and being passionate about it. So don't be afraid to dip your toes in the water and scratch something you don't like. And if you don't like it, don't do it. Do that early on. And if you do like it, really pursue it and really just be bold and go after it. Don't be afraid to ask, is there more that I can do, or what can I do better, and ask for advice along the way. And don't be afraid to take criticism either. I mean, there's not a day that goes by, especially in this industry of media, that we don't take criticism from the public, from our bosses, from other people. So don't be afraid to just take some criticism along the way and learn from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Noah, thank you so much for being on the program.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I'm Britton Rucker, and this has been Ag AM in Kansas.
At Farm Credit, we partner with America's farmers who work hard each and every day to grow the food that we all enjoy. It's not an easy task, but it's an important one. Farm Credit is proud to work with farmers and ranchers, lending support in rural America.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
Welcome back to Ag AM in Kansas. I'm Britton Rucker. Speaking with me now is Tom Stiles, Director of the Bureau of Water. What should the public know about harmful algae bloom?
Well, one, they're a fact of life anymore. On any given lake, it could explode into a bloom. When it does happen, common sense typically will tell people stay away. They can invoke a variety of reactions to people that come into contact with them, and certainly those that, if anyone happens to ingest them. They're just to be avoided, both in terms of being close to them to breathe them in, to swimming through them and ingest it, or just coming into contact. Again, the reactions are kind of customized to every person's own sensitivities, but general rule is if it's blooming, stay out of it, keep your pets out of it, keep your kids out of it.
For those people that do come in contact, what next step and what precautions should one take?
Well, it's always good, proper hygiene. Just showering after you've been recreating in a lake is good practice no matter what. So do that. But if you start becoming symptomatic, contact your personal physician, and they'll begin to evaluate and treat you appropriately to get you through that. Fortunately, we've never had deaths of people here in the state. And even nationwide, it hasn't just people get sick. Pets, dogs, not so much the same story. We've seen a lot of fatalities, both in terms of domestic pets as well as livestock that have ingested the toxins, and it does a number to them. The first thing is to probably wash down the animal, and because it's not so much drinking in the toxins as much as licking their fur. A quick call to the veterinarian is one of the first things they would do.
And Tom, there's a partnership happening with the Milford Lake Regional Conservation. Explain the purpose behind that project.
Well, it's trying to marshal many forces to put in appropriate resources into the watershed above Milford Lake along the Republican River, put in practices that would reduce the movement of nutrients from the producing ag lands into the river, and then ultimately deposited within the Milford Lake itself, which we know excessive nutrients is the root cause of all our algae bloom problems. So this is on a large scale, an attempt to try to arrest some of that source of the problem. But it is such a big problem, and it's such a big system that it's going to take some time to get over the curve and begin to see that real reduction showing itself in terms of blooms in the lake. Having said that, the last 2 years, Mother Nature has probably been the biggest contributor to not having blooms on the lake, which we haven't seen. First, the drought of 2018 and the floods of 2019, both for whatever reason, prevented blooms from occurring in Milford.
Mm-hmm. So for individuals interested more on this project and more information on harmful algae bloom, where would you send them?
Well, probably the three main agencies that have been dealing with it, the Kansas Water Office, KDHE, our non-point source section, and then the Kansas Department of Agriculture, the Conservation Division, all been the major players on the state side on this project.
Well, Tom, thanks so much for being on the program.
Thanks for having me. And everyone have a nice, safe summer and try to enjoy it, but just avoid those blooms.
Absolutely. I'm Britton Rucker, and this has been Ag AM in Kansas.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
These days, no one can afford to take the risk of being without financial protection against high health care costs, not even for a few days. Kansas Farm Bureau health plans offer short-term health care coverage to fill in those temporary gaps. Short-term health plans can provide you with medical coverage when you are between health plans, helping lower your potential financial risk. Learn more at kfbhealthplans.com or contact a Farm Bureau financial services agent near you.
This segment brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Let us help feed your family.
Welcome back to Ag Etc. Next up, we have our new segment, Tell Me Something Good. Country Crock, an upfield brand and no-till on the plains, an agricultural educational nonprofit, have partnered on a 3-year program to support farmers with soil health education and cost share to plant cover crops to improve soil health on fields. The program will enroll acres of cover crops in eastern Kansas and western Missouri on soybean fields that have not been previously planted with a cover crop. Participating farmers will be reimbursed $10 per acre for the cost of the cover crop seed. Farmer information sessions for the cover crop program will start in the summer of 2020 with program recruitment and enrollment targeted for September 2020. And on a national side, country music star Brad Paisley recently surprised Daniel Hayden, a farmer from Whitesville, Kentucky, with a year's worth of N95 masks for him and his staffers, as well as other thoughtful gifts. Daniel helps run Hayden's farm, his family's cattle and chicken farm. Throughout the pandemic, Daniel has been working with Purdue Chicken to connect neighbors experiencing food insecurity to local food banks. Paisley surprised Daniel and Danielle over FaceTime with a year's supply of N95 masks for their staff, as well as 2 sentimental gifts: financial support for fertility treatments to help the couple get pregnant, and 2 matching belt buckles for Daniel and his future child to, quote, tie the generations together. After the couple thanked him, Paisley simply responded, "We need more people like you." And that's been your Tell Me Something Good here on Ag Etc.